Hey everybody, it's Ricki Haller here from rickihaller.com. So I get questions from people all the time about like what's the best protein powder, or which is the best, keto protein bar to eat, or which bread is the best bread to have on an anti-candida diet. And it got me thinking about this, and I wanted to chat about how these kinds of foods can really derail your diet. And I've seen it's a pattern that I've seen happen with different diets over the years, and I've been doing this for a while. And so as an example, something happens, there's a new diet that sort of gets discovered, like let's say paleo, back, I guess, in the late 90s, it got really popular. And, paleo was a diet for people to become healthier. And the idea was we would eat the foods that our ancestors in the paleo era ate. So that means, no grains, because obviously the cavemen couldn't cook or refine grains and make flours and things like that. And they didn't have legumes either, because for similar reasons. So the initial paleo diet was, really healthy vegetables, meats, and eggs and fruits, nuts, seeds, that kind of thing. And then I remember thinking the turning point happened when I saw a cookbook for the Paleo Chocolate Lovers Cookbook. I don't know about you, but I suspect that the paleo people were not eating fudge brownies and croissant, right? And then the same thing now has happened with keto. So keto is a diet that was originally developed because the creator's son, I believe, was epileptic, and they discovered that this high-fat diet with healthy fats, and that turning the body's metabolism around so that you were getting your energy from fat rather than glucose, rather than sugars, was a way for them to keep the seizures under control. And then this took off as a weight loss diet. And now everybody wants to do keto. And so, again, keto, if you think about it, the Inuit way up north, they ate keto. They're eating whale blubber and shark and so on. And that's basically a keto diet. And it's basically a healthy diet. However, again, when we get to keto chocolate brownies and keto birthday cake truffles and all the other keto treats that are now on the market, what we've done is we've basically bastardized these diets. Why? Because we live in a world where, of course, first of all, we're used to it. And second of all, we want it as an everyday occurrence. We want to eat our sweets. We want to eat our snacks every afternoon. We want to have our dessert after every single dinner of the week. And so we can feel good about ourselves that we're on a keto diet, and we're still eating brownies, and we're still eating chocolate, and we're still having truffles, and we're still having ice cream. And I am definitely guilty of that. When I first started the anti-candida diet, I created a plethora of desserts that were candida friendly. And absolutely, those things are way better than regular desserts. But the problem is that we've just traded in one set of bad eating habits for another. And my feeling is, if you want to truly be healthy, then you do have to eat the non-processed, whole food kind of diet. It's kind of what Dr. Mark Hyman refers to as the pagan diet, right? Or pagan, I'm not sure how he pronounces it. But the idea is the bulk of what you eat is made out of real whole food ingredients. And if you truly want to be healthy over the long term, that is the way you have to eat. So when somebody asks me, what is the healthiest keto bar, or what is the healthiest protein powder, I actually want to say none of them is healthy, and make your own. And really what it boils down to is, if you want to have a healthy diet, you are going to have to make the bulk of your food from scratch. And so just as we are sort of in this world where everybody wants to eat snacks and desserts and processed treats all the time, we're also in this world where people at the same time don't ever want to cook from scratch. And I won't even say don't ever want to. I think it's that many people don't know how to cook from scratch. Let me know if that's true for you, or if it's just a convenience thing. Like, what's the reason why cooking from scratch seems to be such a horrible fate for so many people? Because when I start working with clients, So often they'll tell me, I don't have time to cook. I just don't have time to cook. But at the same time, you do have time to do the things that are important to you. So it truly, truly is a matter of priorities. I don't have a lot of time in my life, but I make the time to cook. Why? Because I know that if I don't cook from scratch, and if I'm going to say 90 to 95% of my meals are not made from scratch, I'm going to get sick again. It's not worth it to me. So I find the time to cook. And the thing is, it's like anything else. When you learn how to do it, it becomes so much easier, it becomes much faster, and it becomes more fun because you're good at it, right? So if you think about, I'll just give an example. When you first start to drive, and I often use this example because I was late to the world of driving. I didn't learn to drive till I was about 33. In the beginning, I was very bad at it, and I had to concentrate like crazy, and I couldn't just go somewhere without plotting out a route and making sure that I never had to, back into a parking space or go down a one-way street or make a left turn into traffic or whatever. And now, of course, I hop in the car, I don't think about it, I go wherever I have to go. It's the same as any other habit. Once you have done it enough times and you become used to it, it becomes easy. And that's why cooking for me is now a pleasure, and it's easy. And the same can be true for you. So I would say, if you are thinking about what are the best foods, what's the best bread for you to eat, what's the best snack bar for you to eat, what's the best smoothie for you to drink on your healthy diet, it's going to be one that isn't in a package and that doesn't have processed ingredients in it. It's going to be one that you made from scratch, and however you manage to do that. Now, I have loads of recipes on my site that can help you, and even more recipes in the Sweet Life Club that can help you. But the bottom line is, you're going to have to make it if you want to be sure that it's good for your body, and if you want to know what every single ingredient is in it and what it's going to do to your body, because you're the only one who can know that. And so if I get, there are some bars that I will eat when I want something that's really convenient, and I'm at a stage where I can do that. I've been on a candida diet for 20 years now. But even if I do that more than let's say once a week, I'm going to feel it. So I much prefer to make my own snack bars, wrap them up, freeze them, and grab one when I have to go out somewhere and have it on the road with me. If I go on a trip, I generally pack a whole bunch of stuff to bring with me so that I know what I'm eating and how it's going to affect my body. And I think that's really, really the main lesson I want to give. And I had written down, of course I can't find it, I have a list of ingredients in like one of the top bars that is on the market right now. Okay, I got 50 papers here and I can't find it. So it has ingredients like inulin and the fact that it has 15 ingredients to begin with, it's highly, highly processed, and that's not something you want to be eating every day. So I think it's really important for us to change this mentality that I don't have enough time to cook and cooking is an inconvenience, because you know what? It's much more of an inconvenience to be sick all the time. So cooking is something that I think we need to learn, and if it's a skill you need to acquire, it's something that you want to build into your day and you want to build into your family time, and just make it a priority, like you make brushing your teeth a priority, like you make exercising if you go to your gym a priority, like you make getting your hair done a priority, or getting your nails done a priority. You need to cook from scratch, and you're going to need to find some time to do that, and that's the only way that you can truly, truly ensure the quality and the freshness of what you're eating. Like even something like a natural nut butter, which I make use of myself, already packaged in a jar or whatever. It could have just, let's say, roasted almonds in it, but we don't know the quality of those almonds before they went into the jar. When I buy hazelnuts, for instance, fresh hazelnuts, I find quite often that several of them are either not fresh, or actually a better example is Brazil nuts. If you buy fresh Brazil nuts, they tend toward mold. So you can just be eating a fresh Brazil nut. And even though I buy organic and I buy from a really good quality store, I'm going to say 1 out of every 30 nuts is moldy. I can taste it when you take a bite, even if you can't see it, and I throw it away immediately. So if you're buying nut butter, those nuts have been put in that nut butter. You don't know how old they are. You don't know the exact quality of those nuts. You don't know what else has been on the equipment that's grinding those nuts. And you don't know how long it's been sitting in that jar, or how long it was sitting in the heat of the factory before it was put in the jar. And so you're getting some oxidation there. So if you're going to buy fresh nuts and you can see what they look like before they go into your nut butter and you grind them up in your food processor, of course you're getting a better quality of nut butter than if you just buy a jar. And that's a good quality jar. I'm not saying that isn't good quality. So for me, those kinds of things are things that are great when you need them, when you truly don't have time to make your own. But cooking in bulk, learning to cook, I think that's an essential skill these days for anybody who wants to be truly healthy and wants to ensure that their food is truly healthy. Let me know what you think, because I'm guessing that people are listening to this and thinking, this woman's effing crazy, because where does she think I'm going to get the time to cook everything from scratch? And I would have said the same thing when I was teaching full-time and I was first diagnosed with candida teaching full-time. I had a part-time job. I had 2 dogs to take care of. I didn't have little kids, but I had 2 dogs who are kind of like 3-year-olds forever, and a husband to take care of. And I thought, how am I going to do this? How am I going to cook this stuff from scratch? And you know what? I found time because I had to. Because if I didn't, I was in bed all the time, sick. So I think, again, I'm going to say that one more time, that it is truly a priority. But I also think changing your attitude about it can really change the way it feels in your life. Because for me, cooking is fun, but it wasn't always. And it's something that you learn, you get better at, it gets easier, it gets faster as you go. So let me know what you think. I would love to hear what you think about this. If you plan to start cooking more from scratch, and if not, why not? I really, really want to know, because then I can help you address those challenges. And that's really what I do with people. So I forgot to say at the beginning, I'm Ricki Heller from rickiheller.com, and I'm a healthy eating coach. So I help people learn to live well on their restricted diets so they don't feel deprived, and so that you can still live the rest of your life the way you want to without feeling like you're a prisoner to your kitchen or to your symptoms. And you can find out more at rickiheller.com. You can subscribe to my weekly email at rickiheller.com/subscribe, where I talk about all these kinds of things and more, and I share recipes as well. All right, everybody, have a great rest of your day, and I will look forward to hearing back from you. Take care.